Your child is melting down about homework. You explain, you repeat yourself, you raise your voice a little. Now they're crying harder, and you're wondering how a 5-minute task turned into a 40-minute battle. What if the best move was to pause everything for 30 minutes? Parenting often asks for calm thinking in moments that feel anything but calm. After a long day, your brain is already carrying a lot: work, responsibilities, constant decisions. Your child's brain is also tired. When both nervous systems are overloaded, small problems suddenly feel enormous. The child becomes rigid, the parent becomes urgent, and conversations that should take 2 minutes stretch into exhausting conflicts. Not because anyone is careless, because stress shrinks our ability to think clearly. This is where the 30-minute rule comes in. The idea is simple. When a child becomes emotionally stuck, frustrated, resistant, overwhelmed, pause the situation and return to it about 30 minutes later. Why does this work? Think of the brain like a snow globe. When emotions shake it up, everything inside becomes cloudy. Thoughts spin around, nothing settles. Trying to reason during that moment is like reading a book while the snow globe is still shaking. But give it a little time. The snow settles. Suddenly, the same brain can think again. Children's emotional storms often pass faster than adults expect. 30 minutes allows their nervous system to reset. And yours too. Quick question: have you ever tried to solve a problem while angry, and later realized it wasn't actually that complicated? Kids experience that shift even more strongly. Many parents instinctively do the opposite. The moment resistance appears, we push harder. Finish this now. Stop arguing. Just do what I asked. The intention makes sense. You're trying to keep structure. But when a child's brain is flooded with emotion, pressure usually creates more resistance. The conversation becomes a tug of war. Parent pulls, child pulls back. And suddenly the issue isn't homework anymore. It's control. Short line: power struggles rarely solve the original problem. The 30-minute rule interrupts that cycle. Here's what it looks like in practice. Step 1. Notice the emotional lockup. Your child stops listening. They argue about everything. Tears, anger, or complete shutdown appear. Step 2. Pause the task. Not as a punishment, not dramatically. Just calmly step away from the moment. Step 3. Name the pause. You might say, "Looks like this feels really frustrating right now. Let's take a break and come back in about 30 minutes. Step 4. Shift the environment. Let the child move their body, play, read, or simply reset. The goal isn't distraction. The goal is regulation. Then after the break, return to the task. Often something surprising happens. The child who refused completely earlier now cooperates much more easily. Not because they were forced, because their brain can think again. Reflect for a moment. How many conflicts escalate simply because no one pressed pause? Real-life example. Imagine this moment. It's evening. Your child sits at the table staring at math homework. 5 minutes pass, then 10. Finally, they push the paper away. "I hate this." You feel that familiar wave of irritation. Inside your head, we've already talked about responsibility. Why does this happen every night? Your first instinct might be, sit down and finish it. But instead, you remember the pause. You look at them and say, "Math feels really annoying right now, huh? Let's take a break and come back in half an hour." Your child shrugs and walks to the couch, scrolling through music, stretching out for a bit, or stepping outside for some fresh air. You pour a glass of water. Maybe step away from the table yourself. 30 minutes later, you return. You sit down beside them. Ready to look at it together? This time, the response is quieter. "Okay." And within 10 minutes, the assignment is done. The task didn't change. The state of the brain did. Short line, timing matters more than force. This approach works especially well when children are stuck on homework, refusing transitions, frustrated with learning tasks, arguing about small rules, emotionally overwhelmed after school. It doesn't mean every limit disappears. It simply means you choose the right moment to address the problem. Sometimes the fastest way forward is a temporary pause. Surprising insight. Children often cooperate more after breaks because they feel respected, not pressured. That small shift changes the emotional climate. Learning to pause instead of pushing is a skill. It takes practice. Some days you'll remember, other days the moment will carry you away. That's part of being human while raising another human. But small adjustments like this can quietly change the tone of everyday life. Less urgency, fewer circular arguments, more moments where things simply work. The 30-minute rule isn't magic. It's timing. And sometimes the most powerful parenting move is not saying more, correcting more, or insisting harder. Sometimes it's simply allowing the snow in the globe to settle, then trying again. Calmer minds often find easier solutions. If this video was helpful for you, you can support the channel by leaving a like. And if you'd like more calm, practical parenting ideas like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next videos.